What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Man Up Real Talk podcast. I am your host with the most, Mr. Michael Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and listeners. Y'all already know we appreciate all the likes, the shares, the clicks, and the downloads, and whatever it is that you do to support this podcast, because we know that had it not been for you, it wouldn't be no us. And we appreciate that thing. Now, for those of you all that may be joining us for the first time, I want to personally say welcome and thank you, because you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Now, if you're coming back for a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth helping, or whatever the case may be, we say welcome back, because your boys is back on the air with the Man Up Real Talk podcast, the podcast for the people. And joining me, as always, is my brother from another mother, Mr. Philip Hines, aka Mr. Classic, aka OG Triple OG, is definitely in the building. What's
man,
going
you know
on?
what? You and Phyllis got to stop that, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
OG Triple O Jizzle. Man, I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. It's Friday.
That's right. It's Friday, bro.
It is Friday, sir. The Lord has brought us through another week. Thereof, we are glad, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank God it's Friday. Listen, those of you all that's 6 feet and above, I'm happy for you.
Yes, sir. Another day to get it right.
Another day to get it right, man. Another day to contribute to this world and do what you were meant to do. You may be asking yourself, I don't even know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. That's all right. You got another day to figure it out.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that matters. So we thank God for today. We thank God for those of you that will be joining us live, those that will be coming back and watching this at a later time. I know our pastor is currently at another church on this evening. So a lot of our viewers will probably be traveling with him on tonight, and that's okay. That is okay. The conversation must go on. It has to go on. It will go on. Why? Because we ain't got nothing else to do.
You silly.
I have absolutely nothing else to do today.
Nah.
Nothing, sir. So I am here, and we are live. Listen, so a couple of things we're going to talk about tonight. Eric, what's going on, sir?
Eric, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, man. We're talking about that TikTok ban today, Eric. I should have had you on, because I'm sure you have a lot to say about that. I found my Trump shoes too.
Trump shoes.
Yeah, man. My Trump 2024s, baby.
Mike.
Yes, sir. Listen,
you one of them, Mike? Are you one of them leaning that way?
Nothing says freedom like a pair of Trumps. I'm telling you.
We joking, man, but it is a lot of black folks that's saying that they're voting for Trump if he's on that ballot. But the question is, we're going. I heard you, Eric, and Sister Sibby talking. We usually do talk about the election around election time, but we're gonna have to discuss. Are you mad at him?
Mad at who? Biden?
Now, are you mad with what you like? A lot of black folks are saying that they're gonna vote for Trump. The ones that didn't vote for him this time, but to be honest with you, Mike, with everything that's going on, I really can't blame them right now. I'm sorry, man. Biden just didn't. He popped out and told us to get the shot, and
we're supposed to be talking about TikTok tonight, Phil.
Yeah. My fault. We that's another discussion. That's another discussion. You know how we do.
Talking
Mike,
about TikTok.
I know, Mike, but you know how we do. We get
doggone it. You on this thing. Listen, real quick though, before we get into any conversation, I am honored that I was asked to be one of the speakers at Pastor Steve's Good Friday service.
Look at brother-in-law. Proud of you, Mike. Proud of you.
Look at me, man. Y'all don't see me. I look like somebody ducking behind the canned goods.
Why is your eyes open so wide, though, yo?
It's really not. That's actually reflections on my glasses, like it always
like right
is.
now. Yeah,
just like right now. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, man.
Go forth to give the word.
Yeah. So
listen,
it's it's a task, man, that I do not take lightly, but I'm excited. And so y'all support your boy. If you happen to be, if you happen to be on Friday night, I'll send them.
And that's the 29th, right?
That's Good Friday, whatever Good Friday is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's
so you all know, instead of tuning in to Man Up,
right? Instead of tuning in here,
we'll be tuning in to where he'll be speaking at.
Absolutely. So I'm excited about that. I'm just excited about a lot of things, man. We're doing a celebration for my mom's 80th birthday. That's coming up next week. I'm excited about that. The Lord can let her live to see 80 years. So we celebrating her 80 years here on this earth.
God is just good, Mike. You know that.
Yeah.
You really can't say nothing else, but God is really good. He's good.
What else can you say? Even if you don't believe in him,
No, man.
Listen, the universe is good.
Exactly,
that's your
man.
thing. Yeah. The planets aligned and things are all right. So, whatever it is that
God is good, man. God is good.
I believe in the Lord, and I believe that He's been good.
He heard my cry. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. What was that you used to call it? They used to call it the Walter crying. What they used to call it, Mike?
I don't know.
I heard the Lord. He heard my cry.
Yeah.
I love the Lord.
I mean, it's just call and response.
No, but he had a label. He had a title. They used to call it something.
I
can't remember what it is. I can't remember what they used to call it.
I used to just call it old folks singing.
Now some old church folks know. Some older church folks know what they called that. It was a certain,
I know what they call them. Negro spirituals.
No, Mike. See, you can't. Let's get to TikTok, Mike. I can't have no civilized.
Ain't that what it was? It's some old Negro spirituals.
No, they used to call it. They used to call it something, man. I can't remember.
Low.
I just can't remember what they call it. But anyway, man, let's get off into the show.
Coming forth to carry me home. Swing low. Sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home.
All right.
That's some old Negro spirituals. Yeah. Eric said Congress needs to ban Phils.
You can't sing, man. I'm serious, man. But every now and then you might get a couple of lyrics out of me, but I can't sing.
Come on, Phil, do some of that Boys to Men.
No.
I can bite your bottom lip.
I can do some every time I close my eyes. Hey, man, listen, I keep trying to tell you, Boys to Men is your group. My group is the guys with the baseball caps in the back.
I did. Oh, I like both of them, but I was.
You remember, Eric? You should. Eric, me and Mike did a versus. Real talk. This when versus first kicked off.
We had our own.
Remember that versus on Zoom?
Yeah, that was cool.
He had Boys to Men, and we had people coming to the Zoom room, and he had Boys to Men. I had jokes.
Zoom room. Pause. Look, it was
Oh yeah. Pause.
Listen, we tried to get nobody to. That was before you. What? Eric, how old are you? Well, that might have actually been before Eric. Now that I think about it,
if he's in his 20s, yeah.
If he's in his 20s, yeah.
Now, if Eric, he's I'm telling you right now, because my son, I tell you, Lil Phil, 32.
He's 36. Stop playing.
Yeah, look. What he say? How old he was?
He said he's 36. Boys to Men. Listen, you should. Oh
yeah, you real? No, he not. No, he don't. No, he 36. Really? No, Eric was barely in grammar school.
I'm not saying he was. He should know who they are.
I mean, he probably know they are, but Eric, no, I don't think no.
That
Eric,
might not have been his
no,
thing.
no. 36, man. Eric was barely in grammar school. Eric is, yeah, no.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
He knows who they are, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
He
get
might
it.
not. He might not have been
36.
around, or he might not remember like the.
But Eric, Jodeci is better.
He was talking about our Zoom battle. He wasn't around at that time.
Oh no, you wasn't, man.
No,
This
wasn't really around at
this
that
one
time.
This one versus really was like first popping off where it was just on Instagram. They didn't have it like the big shows they had. So me and Mike decided to have a versus on Zoom, and he had Boys and Men, and I had Jodeci.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep ourselves from going crazy during COVID.
Yeah, man. That was during COVID. We was doing that.
That was during COVID. Yeah, man.
Mike, we used to do some crazy. We did some crazy stuff on this pod, man.
You know what? I think
I enjoyed every moment, man.
I have honestly, I've honestly enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's not a task because, a lot of people think that you're just getting out there, you just talking every day.
Oh no.
It's not really that. I mean, it is. That's a big part of it, but we try to talk about things that hopefully will spark conversation and will, get people to look at things differently. Maybe it's stuff that they never even thought of. It's like, oh, didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we've been doing this now. I think our live streams we've been doing for almost about maybe 3 years or so.
Yeah.
Has it been 3 years? Yeah. We need to do another versus, but we can't do it because we can't do it on like a live stream because they'll copyright us, boy. They'll be like, yeah, fam, y'all ain't doing that. We need to have that on our own time and do our own little personal verses.
That was crazy though. That was crazy.
It was cool though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But man, this whole election thing, man, I actually just our government in general. I don't know anymore. When at one point in time I could have spoke on our government with some sort of assurity, I can't do that now. Because as of late, I do not feel that they have my best interest as a U.S. citizen. I don't believe they have that at heart. I just don't.
No.
I think that there's a lot of things in government that needs to be shaken up. I believe that they should set new terms for people, for the House and for the Senate.
There should be a limit.
I just don't think that you should be able to serve for life. It's people right now that it's still in Congress that
30 years.
They were literally around. They were literally around during the Jim Crow laws.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that those people have changed the way that they think and the way that they feel? No. And especially being in a position of power, why would they? So it's a lot of things that need to change. I don't think that, and actually, Eric, I believe you're right on that one. I don't think either party does.
Neither one, Eric. Neither one.
Neither party does. And you know why I say that? And because I want to talk about this TikTok ban. This is actually a good segue into that, because look at the energy that they are putting into trying to ban TikTok. And from what I can gather and the stuff that I read up on, the only reason that they are trying to ban TikTok is because they say they want to save the children.
Yeah, right.
They want to make it so this company that owns TikTok, which is they're owned by China. They can't steal this data. They can't steal our data and endanger the children and endanger the citizens, the American citizens, and steal our data and use our data for whatever devious plan China may have for us. So in order for them to counteract that, the best thing that they can do is ban TikTok. That's the plan. We're going to ban TikTok.
It's more to that, Mike. I don't know what it is, but it's more to that, man.
It's a lot more to it. I guarantee. Listen, when was the last time Congress voted on anything and there was almost an 80-something% majority?
Exactly.
I'll wait.
They haven't.
Tell me when it happened. I don't remember. But for some reason, this bill has passed, and I mean, I ain't never seen a bill pass this fast in Congress.
Immediately, bro. I didn't even know what it was about. Like, dang, they passed TikTok? What's going on with TikTok? And then I heard something about China. I'm like,
people voted on this TikTok. I mean, the number is crazy.
Bipartisan too.
Yeah, dude.
It ain't just one side.
It wasn't just one side. This is what I'm saying.
Ain't just one side.
This is what I'm saying. It wasn't just one side, fam. This was overwhelming.
Yes, sir.
It was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I think the number was like 300 and something to like 65. Of course, I can't find it now, but I know I skimmed across to somewhere and it showed that it was an overwhelming number,
yes, sir,
of people who voted for this ban to go into place.
Yep.
And like they're trying to make the people who own it sell it for whatever reason.
I don't understand that neither.
Yeah, it's like, you don't have to talk to somebody a little bit smarter than me to kind of, go into exactly why they want them to sell. But they're really trying to pass this off as if TikTok is a threat to national security.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much of that do I really believe? Not a lot. I just don't believe that. Eric said that it's about narrative control. And the Palestine movement opened up young people's eyes, and Israel has lost the narrative control. And the Israel lobby actually requested we ban. I actually was going to put up receipts for that this weekend. Yeah, here's
put
the
them real. Up, Eric. Put the receipts up, Eric, so I can see them on your page.
Here's what I believe, and I put up a post. Let me say this: I put up a post a couple of days ago that said, if I'm gonna be completely honest, if TikTok was to disappear, it wouldn't really make me a difference.
I don't even do TikTok, so
I mean, I do. I'm on TikTok though. Here's the thing: there are going to be times when I'm going to play the role of the antagonist.
There you go.
And I'm going to I'm going to post things. And it's going to be things that people may not like.
Mike, you got to relax on that though, Mike.
No. And it's going to be things.
You have to.
No. And it's going to be things that people may not relate to. It's going to be things that people may not agree with. And you know what? That's okay. Because I want to get the conversation going. That's the purpose. So it's going to be some stuff that I'm going to post that y'all ain't going to like. It's all right. It's okay. Just know that I will forever fight for your right to disagree.
Mike, listen, man. Mike.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying that I am not going to always post sunshine and rainbows. I'm not going to I'm gonna post some silly stuff. I will post some things about Trump. I will say this though. there is always a degree of truth to everything that I post. Always. I don't just post things just to post them. Like if I say I'm considering for voting for Trump, I ain't just saying that just to say it.
You're not the only one, man. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of brothers.
Listen,
but Mike, let's be real, Mike. And we gonna stay on TikTok, but we here right now. So let's just talk about this. Right. Let's be real. We once had what was this? 4 years ago, we did a podcast when the election was going on. And what did we say? Basically, we're voting for lesser of the two evils. We knew Biden wasn't the right candidate, but we were so tired of Trump. Let's be honest. That's how Biden got in. Yeah. Biden only got in office because folks got tired of Trump. But now with the migrant situation, and it's like you come out to tell people get a shot, you don't see them again. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like now they talking about your age and you're falling off bikes. And I mean, it's like right now, there is no valid candidate to run this country unless you go independent. And I really don't know a lot about independent. I think didn't your boy, what's the old boy that split the vote? The reason why Trump won against Hillary. What's his name that split the vote? I don't like him. Dude, what's
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, him.
Yeah. It's Bernie. Wait, it's Bernie. I ain't seen him in a minute.
Bernie. I just saw Bernie on some
he probably retired. What is he, like 90 or something?
No, he was at some summit speaking. They were talking about something. This was a couple of days ago, but what I'm saying is I really don't know much about the independent. But right now, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Eddie?
But right now, let's be honest, man. Neither party, just like Eric said, neither party looks pretty. And what's gonna do is gonna deter a lot of people from not voting. I'm telling you right now, the voters turnout is gonna be very low this election because there's a lot of people, they don't want Trump, but they don't want Biden. And then you got a lot of black people because they living in these cities, like a city I live in, that's these sanctuary cities where we're looking at these migrants. Because now you got this measles outbreak here in Chicago that they said came from, you know what I'm saying? So it's not looking pretty for Biden either. So it's going to turn a lot of people away from voting. And then you got a lot of folks that's going to turn around and vote for Trump. Because that this migrant situation, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. But if you're not living in one of these sanctuary cities, this stuff is ridiculous.
My problem, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a couple of things that I and again, I'm not the one to talk politics because I'm not well versed in politics. But I will say that this two-party system, I think, is antiquated and it needs to be done away with.
Yeah, man.
Because it is one of the most divisive tools in this country. Are you Democratic or are you Republican? Which is crazy because parties have switched over the years. You know what I'm saying? Because the Democratic used to have the beliefs of the Republicans, and the Republicans used to have the beliefs of the Democratic, and somehow, some way, that switched up. But I just think that there's some things that there's a lot. And speaking of the TikTok, man, this all kind of ties together because when I think about how quickly they are trying to get this thing passed, it leads me to believe that there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know why I say that? Because there are kids maybe not kids, but there are parents that's waking up every morning and dropping their kids off at school and hoping that they come back home later on that evening. And you know why? Because there's a possibility that some maniac with an automatic weapon,
yes, sir,
can go up in that school and have his way.
Mhm.
Why? Because Congress can't pass a gun law.
No.
They can't agree on some type of law to ban automatic weapons, but they can ban TikTok. You see why I have a problem with that? And when you look at TikTok, what is TikTok really? How is TikTok any different than Facebook? Why are they not trying to ban Facebook? Because a lot of them got money tied up in Meta.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to touch Facebook. They're not going to touch Facebook.
Why is it that they are so concerned?
No, they get a nice check off Meta.
Why are they so concerned with banning TikTok? Oh, because you know what? It's owned by communist China.
Mm-hmm.
Word. That phone that you got in your pocket, how many parts come from China? That car that you drove in to work, how many parts was made in China? The TV that you watch, the clothes that you wear.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those things? How many of those things are made in China?
That's how you know it's more, Jack. Mike. That's how you know it's more than what they're letting out. Especially a bipartisanship and like over 80%. Come on, man.
Over 80%.
It's more than what we thinking, and they'll never let us know because they'll never let us know anything.
Listen, you're gonna sit up there and you really want to ban TikTok, and it's just like I'm the same. This is the same government that can't come together to figure out what to do with the homeless problem that we have in this country.
Oh, they don't care about that. They don't care about that, Mike.
But you know what bugs me is that it's not like they can't do anything. You know how I know that they can? Because I look at this migrant situation. And when I look at the fact that there are people that were born and raised in this country, don't have a place to stay, a warm place to sleep, concerned about where they're going to get their next meal from.
Yep.
Can't get a job. And yet they try to find places to sleep, try to find places to keep warm. And you know what cities are doing? They're building, they're purposely putting up, I forget what the proper term for it is, but it's constructions like benches and stuff that's purposely made to try to dissuade the homeless from laying on the benches.
Yeah.
You're putting these covers over the vents in New York, because during the wintertime, because the heat coming from the subway, they would lay on the vents to keep warm. And they're putting these things on the vents to make it uneven and uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
You're doing everything in the world to try to get rid of the homeless or to put the homeless at an already greater disadvantage, to sweep the homeless under the rug. And yet here is somebody, and I don't have anything against the migrants, but here is somebody that's coming from another country, leaving whatever situation it is that they're leaving, and you are making accommodations for these people.
Giving them the world. Giving them the world.
Giving them the literal world.
Yes.
I mean, clothes, you're giving them food and housing vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that money come from?
Yep.
This is the same government.
You got some people sitting on some of these housing things like Section 8. You got some people sitting on Section 8 for probably about almost 10 years. And you got a migrant come and hop everybody.
Get pushed right up front. This is the same government that wants to ban TikTok, though.
Yeah, man.
Same government. the same government.
And a lot of it has to do with controlling the narrative too, Mike. You know, with TikTok,
absolutely.
you get a lot of good information out on TikTok. TikTok, not a lot of people ain't just get on TikTok doing dance challenges and all that. It's some people that use TikTok to get information out.
Here's
so
the
you
thing.
Can control the narrative also of a
social media as a whole is let me tell you, social media is the reason why that chicken Donuts is. Let me tell you something, man. They've been talking about her on YouTube for almost 2.5 years. Mm-hmm.
The news finally just started picking it up like over the summer.
Yep.
So
just start picking. Listen, I there, like I said, I hate that I don't have any notes, but when you talk about just social media in general, of course there are pros and cons.
Yeah.
Right. We know that social media as a whole, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, wherever, we know that there are pros and cons for all of those apps. Lord knows that Twitter is a cesspool. I don't even mess around on Twitter. It's like every time I go to Twitter, I feel like I have to have on rubber clothes because I just leave Twitter and be like, ugh. So I don't even get down with Twitter like that. But every social media app has its pros and cons. But if you look at social media as a whole, what are some of the advantages of social media? Social media can be educational.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As a matter of fact, social media has shifted the whole angle of education. When you think about how we used to get our information, when we was coming up, what do? We didn't have the internet.
No.
We have to go to a library and look it up in a book. And
by
the time
the
encyclopedias, and by the time, and a lot of that information was outdated because they were updated every 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Social media, you can get information right then and there. It can be used as an educational tool. You know, social media promotes networking. People who probably wouldn't normally network in real life will network on social media. You look at how we connected with Eddie, connected with Tony Briscoe, connected with Sean, connected with Pastor Sam's and various other people on here that we network with. Social media did that. Social media can teach new skills. You can learn how to do anything on social media from do-it-yourself projects to hot wiring a car.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look, if you can learn how to take the boot off your car on social media.
That's YouTube video to anything you want to know how to do.
Anything. You know, so when you talk about this thing with social media also, I'm gonna tell you what social media does. Social media allows for people like you and me and Eddie and Eric to give unbiased and unfiltered opinions and point of views.
Yeah.
Because see, when you're dealing with the news, when you're dealing with the media, they have to speak through a certain filter.
That's why a lot of they notice that a lot of those media folks is going to YouTube now to start.
Because it's like they have
so they can speak what they want to speak.
They have to worry about shareholders.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So they understand that certain news sell.
Exactly.
Certain news gains viewership. So a lot of the stuff that we get on regular media ain't stuff that necessarily is going on in the world, but it's stuff that they want us to believe, that gets us to watch and engage and bring viewership, which is good for them. So it's like this, that they see now that social media, TikTok, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, or whatever, is a platform that don't need your permission.
Exactly.
I don't need your permission to get on here and talk about politics. I don't have shareholders to hinder me in my opinions. If I feel a certain way about Trump, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about Trump. If I feel a certain way about Biden, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about Biden. And there's no consequence. Now, Facebook
to to a point like on YouTube, there's consequence because if you can say certain words and
what I'm saying is that yeah, I mean, but that's also controlling the narrative too. If you want to go there,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like I feel that this is not a matter of national security.
No, man.
This is a way of them trying to control freedom of speech to a certain degree without saying they're controlling freedom of speech. Let me get to some of these comments. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, let me go back.
They talking in the chat?
Let's see. Eric says that the NRA prevents them from banning guns via lobbying.
Exactly, Eric.
If you don't understand the truth about American politics, read Malcolm's speech, The Ballot or the Bullet. And that's the link. If you guys want to check that out. I think I've heard that. If I'm not
I think I heard it on YouTube some years ago.
In regards to gun control, why is it that I can auto switch in a car? Kill switch in a car, but not a gun? Why can I place trace technology in a phone, but not assign the same tech to an automatic weapon? Why can I buy a signal jammer to block the use of a cell in a concert or store, but not do the same in weapon tech? Listen. This is what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. If you want to change the migrant situation, align them with minorities. If that block of humanity, Latinx and Black, is brought together, they will immediately start changing laws. It is control, and they make us fight at the lower levels to retain power and control.
Exactly.
That's really what it is. Because think about it.
Eddie.
Where are they putting all of the migrants?
Eddie, you said that.
Where are they putting all of the migrants?
But I said that. I put a post up about that. This is like sometime last year. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you don't live in one of these sanctuary cities, you don't understand. But if you live in one of them and you live where they everywhere. And now you're looking at it where you got people that's been laying on sleeping on bus stops and all this for years. And these folks is coming here and they get in the world.
Yep. This is what I'm saying.
And I truly feel that is going to be one of the main reasons why a lot of folks vote for Trump. A lot of folks that's in the inner city. Because I'm gonna be real, folks needs don't think that everybody's peachy cream with it. Because there's a lot of folks is protesting this stuff. It's a lot. City Hall, they said this is the most that they had in City Hall in some years. So folks is going downtown City Hall and fussing and complaining about it.
Because
and that don't look good for Biden now. It don't look good for Biden now.
Listen, you know what pisses me off? Let me tell you what pisses me off about Biden and the Democratic Party. You had 4 years to find a viable candidate for the Democratic Party.
And you didn't.
And you didn't do it. Because you are relying on the fact you are reliant, number one, on the Black vote.
Mm-hmm.
And you're relying on the fact that Black people are going to vote the way we've always voted, which is in our feelings. I don't care what you say. I don't care how upset you get. Black folks vote in our feelings.
And
we don't.
Now it's voting in our feelings. It's gonna be. It's not gonna look good for Biden. It's not.
We do not vote with policies in mind.
No,
we just don't.
I'm tired of one of them gone, so I'm gonna vote for the other guy.
We don't vote with policy. I can't remember. I remember they were talking about the Black Caucus and yeah, there's the list that Black people and all that. Where is this list?
Nah, man.
I remember when Q back in 2020 was working with Trump with the platinum plan that he had an idea for this thing called the platinum plan. And all of the stuff that he had in the plan, here's the crazy part, was in line with the Black Caucus. A lot of the stuff that Trump had in that plan was right in line with the Black Caucus and what they wanted from a quote unquote candidate. But because it was Trump, everybody was like, nah, that's him trying to play black people. Okay, so then here's my thing. What is it collectively that we as a people want? Because if we just voting because we don't like a person, and I'll be honest, when I voted for Obama, absolutely, I voted for him because he was black.
Everybody did, Mike.
Everybody did.
But first of all, if you did live in Chicago and you never lived if you never been over by Hyde Park or shopped at that co-op that was in Hyde Park, you didn't know who that man was.
You know who this light skinned dude was? Like, who is this guy?
You didn't know who he was.
You know,
that's why I lived over that area and worked at that co-op. And I remember when them kids was little girls when him and Michelle was coming there shopping.
And some people can say that, you know, they gave us Obama and Obama was just to kind of shut the black people up. Whatever. Listen, my whole thing is that while Obama was in office, I learned to look at politics for what it was and understanding how it works, understanding how things work on a local level, how things and how you have to, you know, there's a chain and you can't just put everything on one person. How many times have I talked about the aldermen here in the city? Like in all honesty, I don't know who my alderman is. I've never met him or her.
No.
And from what I understand is the alderman is supposed to be like the eyes and the ears for the mayor. What's going on in your ward? What do y'all need? What is this, that, and the other? These aldermen don't do nothing.
I mean, they used to, before you got to the alderman, you used to talk to your precinct captain.
But this is what I'm saying. But it's just like, but
that
now
was the guy that came around and made sure that everybody had shovels to shovel the snow. And if you needed, that was the guy the guy that you talked to, that if you need anything from your alderman, you went to your precinct captain and he took it back to your alderman. Those days are gone, Mike.
Those days are gone. And it's just like, I sit up here sometimes and I ask about that. I'm like, man, who is my alderman? Like why is there such a disconnect with black people in politics? And it's just, white politicians grow replacement years before they retire or die. Mitch McConnell already has a white successor hand chosen to replace him. We are absolutely. We are reactive and not proactive. We just can't blame them. Unlike white, Asian, Latinos, etc., black culture does not grow black political leaders.
Not at all, Eddie.
We don't do it because policies are being used to turn the last two black generations against voting. Now, I believe that. And see, this, though, Eddie, is why I believe they are so prone, why they're so dead set on banning TikTok. Because you got a lot of people on TikTok that's talking politics, like a lot of black people on TikTok that's talking politics, like real politics. And it's not so, what I love about it is like they're not so one-sided.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because they give you both perspectives, and it's not some biased BS that the media is trying to sell us. It has people talk. There are communities. Understand that there are communities on TikTok that have been built over the years, and people that has influence.
Yeah.
And they want to take away that influence. They want to take away those communities.
But you know what, Mike? We have been voting Democratic for so long. Is that we don't even deal with trying to even take time out to learn about politics.
And you know
all we know is we're gonna go to the ballot and we're gonna vote for the Democrat. And so a lot of us don't take time out to even, you know what I'm saying, educate ourselves on any type of politics.
The crazy thing is that they even make it so when you go vote, they just say, do you want to vote for everybody Democratic? You can punch one or two buttons, and everybody that's a Democrat, you cast a vote for them.
That's how a lot of criminals get in.
Don't matter. Get in. Don't matter who it is,
because a lot of folks do that. They just press Democrat straight down.
They just press Democrat and then they out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want. I wish, and as much as I hate saying this, because when you look at other cultures, I don't see, a white spokesman. I don't see an Asian spokesperson or a Latino spokesperson or I just don't see those. And it's just like, when I think of us though, it's like, why do we need a person to say, hey guys, this is what we need to do?
We're always looking for a savior.
Like we're always looking for that person to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm like, why do we need that? Why can't we just say, okay, listen, think logically. Think you don't have to, it's just like people who spend 20 and 30 years at a church and they're not growing at that church. And you know why they're at that church? Because their grandmama used to go there, or they mama and they auntie used to go there 20 years ago. And so there is some strange delusion that you have to stay at this church because your mama used to go there. That was 30 years ago. If you're not getting anything from it, why are you still there? And it's the same thing with voting Democratic. And it's like, what has voting Democratic done for Black people recently?
No, it's going to change now.
What has it done? What has it done? I have never one time talked to anybody when it came to voting and they said, well, you know what? I was looking at so-and-so and he was talking about this. Like, ask a Black person about policies. Ask them. Ask them.
We don't care, Mike.
And we don't care.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to offend anybody, but every now and then I have my truth moments on here.
Hold on.
Mike,
a true moment.
Let's be real, Mike. Let's be honest, Mike. Some of us really don't care about anything until it's knocking on our doorstep. And that's just us as a people. Not all of us, but majority of us, we're like that. We really don't pay attention to nothing until it's on our doorstep.
Facts.
When Mike, in 2010, when I was talking about the gun violence in Chicago on Facebook, folks was calling what I was saying talking negative. When people was pouring water on their head for no reason, for a disease they probably forgot about. And I put a post up and said, while everybody pouring water on their head, it's kids dying in the streets of Chicago, and nobody cares because it's not trendy. And everybody got on me. But once it started hitting people's doorsteps, we gotta do something. The city is just terrible. So let's just be honest. Sometimes we don't give a damn about anything until it's knocking on our door. That's when we start caring.
I think that's
not all Black folks. I'm not saying that's all Black folks.
That's not just Black people. That's people.
Mike, let me tell you something.
Hold on. That's just people. There's a lot of instances where people will see things. It's just like people can see homelessness, and you know what? They're not really concerned about it. You know why? Because it ain't affecting them. It's not a fact. That's not just Black people. That's just human nature.
Well, maybe because I be around Black folks. So
that's what we see.
Right. Maybe okay. I see. I get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm saying it from a black aspect.
That's the filter that we speak from, because that's because it looks like we just don't care. But that what you're speaking of is just human nature. Humans generally don't care until you know what? Let me retread that. A lot of people don't care until it's their turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the joke is funny until it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So I don't think it's necessarily black people, but I think just people in general.
I'm looking at through a black lens. So
right. The nature of people is that I don't care until it affects me.
Yeah, man. And then you can't sit around and now you want to make a big issue of it. Mm-hmm. What about those other people when you was overlooking it? Like I said, they killed me on Facebook about, oh, you just always negative. And
but you was sounding like Mr. Grumpy. You was sounding like Mr. Grumpy Gills. These stupid people pouring this water on their head.
All I said was, while y'all pouring some idle buckets of water on your head, there are kids dying in our city.
But to be fair,
I said the worst thing in the world.
Because
what everybody want to talk about? Oh, these young folks dying. No, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man.
No, I know you're not trying to hear it, but to be fair, it was kids dying. It was kids dying in the street before that challenge came. It's going to be kids dying in the street afterwards.
I understand what you're saying, Mike. What I'm trying to say is we can't be always complaining if we're not taking time out to pay attention to the issues that's at hand. We don't pay attention to the issues that at hand, and then we want to fuss about things.
I don't think it's that we don't pay attention. I think it's we pay attention, but then we don't do anything about it. Because you know what we do? Let me tell you what our favorite saying is. And stop me if you heard this one. It is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is.
It is
what it is.
That's our mantra.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Hey, I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Before 1950s, Eddie said, before the 1950s, we did the same for the Republicans. And after the death of Kennedy and Dr. King, the Democrats took power of the vote from the Republicans. And folks had pictures of the Kennedy brothers and Dr. King on their wall. Eric says, but if you don't vote for us, you'll get those evil Republicans. This narrative is not effective on the younger generation. Yeah. And that's how they try to spin it, Eric. The Democrats try to really paint this picture like, man, these Republicans are some evil individuals. And if you don't vote for us,
that's going to run a lot of people away from them. I'm telling you, Mike, and I want to revisit this. But that right there is going to run a lot of folks from the polling places this time around when the president election pop up. I'm telling you, Mike, folks is not they're not going to vote for Trump. I mean, they're not going to vote for they're not going to vote for Biden. And some of us, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of folks going to vote for Trump. And the ones that don't vote for Trump are not going to vote. Period.
Yep. And he says that the power of the white minority over a biracial majority is equal to apartheid. Prioritize your history and understanding. Oh, previous comment says, I'll push back and say that neither party has served you. And that is why you read Malcolm's speech and study your darn history. Policy is policy agreed on by a large white political majority. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm always torn when I talk to people, when I hear them say, I'm not voting because it don't matter. I understand why they say it.
Yeah. It used to make me mad when people said that, but I'm starting to understand why folks are saying that.
Yeah, it used to really bother me when I would hear people say, my vote don't matter anyway. Mm-hmm. And I try to stay positive in that regard, because I believe that your vote does count, but I believe it's how we use our vote.
Yeah.
And we don't use our vote properly, because I'm just telling you, man, when you look at There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. No way in the world Biden should be running for another term.
Yeah.
It's just no way. Why is it that we don't have somebody else? Why?
Because we don't.
And then it's to the point where you starting to look at Trump and be like,
this is what I'm trying to tell. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's too much stuff that went on these past 4 years that it turned a lot of black folks off with Biden. That that they gonna sneak up, and if this man get on his ballot, they gonna sneak up and they gonna vote for him.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying, Eric. Our vote matter, but I think we don't use our vote properly. And that's why we keep, and this is because here's the thing. We don't hold our candidates accountable. There's no way in the world that we voted for a candidate that says, hey, African Americans, I will never forget you.
And he didn't forget y'all, Mike. He threw y'all that $1,000.
Hold on,
man. You ungrateful.
It wasn't that $1,000. No. That wasn't just the black people. Let's just keep the buck, as you say. That wasn't just the black people. You're gonna sit up there and say African American voters, my African American voters, I'll never forget you. And what did you do for African Americans while you were in office?
Not a damn thing.
and you know what's going to happen. And do you think that we're going to hold him accountable for that?
No,
absolutely not.
No,
we're not. And
but that's what's going. But that's what's going to hurt him, Mike. And that's going to hurt him in the end because he's banking on our vote. That's why he's cocky. He's banking on our vote, and I'm telling you, it's not going to turn out well for that man. And I'm not a Trump fan, but this
them
man
shoes is cold though.
This man bump them shoes. This man's gonna get in office simply because, just like they was tired of you, and he got in, it's gonna be vice versa.
Hold on. Let me see something. Let's see if I can find them Trump 3000s. Yeah, you talk about freedom and democracy and embodied in a shoe, boy.
But we joking around, but until there's a true overhaul of DC, nothing's never going to change. Period. No laws or none of that.
A lot of stuff. It's a lot of
stuff. There has to be a real overhaul. When I say overhaul, all them old folks gotta get up and let me see them. Let me see.
Phil, they got them in my size too, dog.
Let me see.
They got them. Hey,
these are real shoes.
Bro, these shoes are real, fam. Hey, hold on.
Put them up.
Hold on.
Trump ain't playing with y'all this
year. He ain't playing with y'all.
Trump is not playing with y'all. He is not playing.
Y'all better stop.
Act like you know, man. Trump is not playing with y'all.
Woo! Hey, real talk. If it didn't have that big stupid T on there, these wouldn't be so bad. But these are real.
This nigga shoes, man.
You know what's fun? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I would rather get these than the big baller brand shoe.
Like, man.
Whoa, wait, he got him in the Lowe's.
Trump ain't with merch. He got merch, man.
He got him in the Lowe's.
Trump ain't with merch.
Trump got the merch, fam. And look, he made it so you could do installment payments. Come on. Come on. I'm finna get mine right now. Let's see. Get these 14s.
Mike, don't get none of them shoes, Mike.
Hey, I wonder if they come in a wide though. I wonder how they fit. If they fit true to size, I'm good. Look at that. Look at that shoe.
Mike, man, take that mess off.
Okay, that's a bad picture. Woo! But look at that. Freedom. Democracy. In a shoe. He ain't playing. Where's Biden's shoe at? How come Biden ain't got a shoe?
Man, listen.
That's all I'm saying. How come Biden ain't got a shoe?
It's a shame that, man, our God, democracy is a joke, man. It's ridiculous, man.
The Muslim community has just proved how our vote matters, and we should follow their direction. They voted non-committed in Michigan. Because of this, the tune is starting to change on the Israel policy. Voting is our power. We just have to use it effectively. Absolutely. Eddie says, I think it's time to do another lesson on the Lily White movement. The third KKK, Herbert Hoover, and how voting for the lesser evil has led to poverty, lynchings, plagues, and wars. The 1920s through 50s showcase some of the deadliest moments in modern American history, and it's scary for me to look at. He also says that I'm going to vote independent before I vote for a racist criminal that keeps saying he wants to be a dictator and launch wars against Africa and South America. Yeah. And then, of course, Eric says, why the gold look fake? Because it's not real. Man. The gold ain't real. But listen, it's something to watch. And it's definitely something.
But brother Eddie, you're right. A lot of folks did go with the lesser two evils.
Yeah, and you know what? And they're going to do the same thing again.
And it's sad, but that's the position that we're in. There is no viable candidate.
There is a viable candidate. It's just that
folks are going to vote for Mike. I mean,
you know what? I'm gonna tell
we talk about independent all day long, and I don't know nothing about them, but the majority of folks are going to vote either Republican or Democrat.
You know what the Democratic Party reminds me of? The Chicago Bears front office.
Mike, man, come on, man. We ain't got to bring the Bears in this, Mike. Bears ain't got nothing to do with what's going on right now.
I'm telling you right now, the Democratic Party it reminds me of the Chicago Bears front office, because neither one of them know how to cultivate and how to produce any productive members whatsoever. You look at the Bears. Let's look at the Bears.
Why are we talking about the Bears, though?
Because I'm trying to make a comparison. Look at how they don't know what to do with Justin Fields.
They know what to do with him.
No, they don't. No,
yes,
they don't.
They do.
No, they don't. Because you know why? If they did, he would be in a better position. The Bears their front office is absolutely trash.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the Bears' fault?
Because they don't know how to train. And yes, absolutely. How is it that here's where you mess up? Because you don't know how your whole thing is, how do I make this square peg fit into my circle system? Instead of saying, let me build around this player and his skill set. They suck with that. Democrats, they sit up there, and you know what the Democrats do? All they do is they just sit back and they just rely.
I'm not gonna let you do that, Mike. I'm not gonna let you do that, Mike.
Listen. They both terrible, bro. They're both terrible.
I understand your little analogy you're doing right now.
Terrible.
But Justin didn't make a strong case for himself either. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And Biden didn't make a strong case for himself. And guess what we're doing? We're still supporting this dude. He's gonna be 9,000 years old and Mike. Still in office.
Like I can honestly, I'm not gonna vote for dude, but Biden's not gonna win, man. I'm serious, Mike. I'm not gonna vote for Trump, but I'm just letting you know, Biden is not gonna win. If they allow that orange haired dude to get on that ballot, Biden is not beating him this election, Mike. I'm telling you.
All
must happen in these 4 years where they're not going to vote Biden in again.
Listen, all I'm saying is that I'm starting to price bomb shelters. I was looking for a house. Now I'm looking for a shelter. I'm finna start buying canned goods and rations because I'm just saying. He said Barabbas. Oh my God. Not Barabbas. Woo. You know, Barabbas was the guy that they freed instead of Jesus. That's terrible. Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't see that man winning this election. I don't. I just don't. That's me.
Yeah. Yep. exactly. Look, Eddie said, I mean, we're talking about parties that compromised until the country went into war against itself.
Mm-hmm.
And they later compromised again until they killed Reconstruction and allowed in black codes and segregation. Listen, I can't even, I don't even want to. Policy is important. As black people, our vote matters. We just need to learn how to start using our votes effectively. And this TikTok thing, I'm telling y'all now, it's a lot bigger than they just want to look out.
Bigger, yeah.
They just want to look out for our security. You know what I'm saying?
And your babies ain't got nothing to do with it.
Eddie, you know what's funny? I didn't get off of the job. Congrats. But do you know I have recently been on this thing about going to the UK? I don't know why, but it's like the UK for some reason has become very attractive to me as of late. Yeah, I've been looking at I'm like, man, I kind of want to go over there and see what's up. You know, I don't know why, man, but it's
back in the days, me and Jackie, I wanted to go to Amsterdam, but that was
I know why you want to go to Amsterdam.
I wanted to hit the coffee shops, but that was
the coffee shops. I get it.
Yeah.
Is that what they call them in Amsterdam?
No, they're called coffee shops.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I really wanted to go. I really want to go and check it out. But listen, speaking of TikTok, and there is this trend on TikTok that I wanted to talk about. And Eddie, I'm glad you're on here, and Tony. There's a trend that's going on TikTok right now. And the trend is called things I'm afraid to admit as a black person, or things I'm scared to admit as a black person. No, this is serious. Now, when I first saw the trend, or when the trend first started coming up, it was funny things. Like, okay, let's do this. As a black person, I'm not afraid to, but I would rather not admit the fact that I don't know how to play spades.
I forget you didn't know how to play spades. That's right. I forget that.
I listen.
Yeah.
As a black person, admitting that you don't know how to play spades, it doesn't end well for you.
Not at all.
As a black person, I have never sat and watched Scarface. I never have. I've never watched Scarface. As a black person, I don't know how to play dominoes.
I forgot you said that too.
Phil was supposed to teach me, but he never did.
I forgot you said that.
I don't know how to play dominoes.
It's just multiple fives, Mike. And just,
Yeah, okay. It's just multiples of 5.
Put the big 6 out and just make it work.
What Tony say? He said, revoke my card. I play Pity Pat and War.
Oh my God.
I'm a blackjack person. I play blackjack.
And you that's right. You use that to try to cover up. I'm a blackjack, Mike. That's nice. That's nice. Boy.
I play blackjack, and I play a little bit of poker. I just don't play spades. But as a black person, you better not admit that.
No,
because that's a problem.
A big one.
And so this trend started about things that, as a black person, people are afraid to admit.
Were there any deep ones though, Mike? Because that's
Yeah, there were some. there was some that said that this girl said, and she got a lot of people coming for her throat. And she said that as a black person, she was afraid to admit that she's afraid of ghetto black people.
What?
She said that as a black person, I am afraid of a hood/ghetto black people. And people came for her head.
I mean, what does she mean by that? I mean,
she's afraid of them. So, and she went into her explanation. She was just like, she gets nervous around them. She, she's just afraid of hood or ghetto black people.
She probably grew up in the burbs somewhere, so she probably never grew up in the hood. So
I'm not gonna necessarily say that. I mean, if we can be honest,
you can't sit there and look down on somebody you living next door to.
But that's not looking down on. And see this, and I'm glad you said that.
No. How can I call you ghetto when I'm living next door to you?
No, Phil. Can we please start separating hood and ghetto culture with black culture, please? They are not the same. Just because I live in the hood does not mean that I have to have a hood mentality.
I'm not saying you need to have a hood mentality, but you still can't thumb your nose up somebody that you living next door to. Y'all live in the same neighborhood.
That's not thumbing your nose. You mean to tell? Listen, I get nervous if I'm in certain areas of Chicago. And see, this is why. When you say why black people are afraid to admit some things, because other black folks be like, I don't see how. Yes, you do. That's why folks say when they leave the hood and they're like, no, you need to come back to the hood. Why? Why do I need to come back to? What has the hood done for me? Let's check. The hood has broke out the windows and broke the windshield wipers off of my car. The hood has keyed my car. The hood has stole my Amazon packages. The hood has shot up the local gas station. I can run down the list of the things that the hood has done. Why do I?
But not everything in the hood is bad, though.
Did I say that? Did I say that? But if a person says, you know what, as a black person, these people make me nervous. Why is that such a bad thing? If you walking down the street at a certain time of night and you see niggas, sorry, Eddie, and you see dudes with hoods and hoodies and stuff on, yes, and even my son wear hoodies and everything, you're not going to tell me that you're not going to look at them dudes and be like, just in case, let me slide over here across the street. You're not going to tell me that you don't think that, Phil.
No, I don't.
You already know. There's been times we went to the gas station, be like, let me go ahead and come out because these dudes look like they own something.
Oh, yeah, you say that, but I'm not going to sit there and be all timid and scared.
I didn't
just be on point.
You don't have to be timid and scared to admit that, hey,
these niggas own something, so let me go on and get what I got to get and get back to the car. That's all.
What about things? What? As a black person, I'm afraid to admit that some black people don't want to do better. And these are people that we live among. Understand what I'm saying? These are people, because when you make statements like this, black people look at you and say, why would you say that? Because I see it. My wife is a teacher. I see it. I see when the parents come and when they talk about their kids and when you tell them that their kid is not doing well and they look at you like it's your fault. No, ma'am. What are you not doing at home? You're not taking accountability, because when I tell you that your kid is not doing this or your child is not doing this, you say, well, what are you doing? But you can't make statements like this because black people don't like it when you make statements like that. As a black person, I'm afraid to admit that I will ruthlessly beat black folks down if they disrespect my wife. What? I think that's anybody.
No, that's anybody, Eddie. You ain't gotta be afraid to admit that.
Yeah. That's
be in the same booth. Somebody do it to my wife and kids.
Man, listen.
As a man, you better do that.
Right. Where the hood? Where the okay? He's singing DMX.
Tony must have been a rapper before or something.
Tony
must have been a rapper. He must have rapped before.
Tony is a rapper.
He a rapper?
He got some songs on YouTube. I'm sure he'll post a link now that you mentioned it. And but I'm just saying, but there is, I think it's a deeper thing.
No, I had to think. I understand. I had to sit back and I had to sit back and think. I get what you saying, Mike. I just don't like. I don't like the people that because you still have people that's in the hood that think they're better than. And what I'm looking at is, I get it. You supposed to think you're better than, but don't thumb your nose up at me and you stand in the same raggedy building now, man.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that she was. And the thing is that that's how people took it. But that's not what she was saying. She just said they make me nervous. You know,
Mike, if we're gonna be honest, Mike, really, man, come on, man. Not all black. I mess with you, Mike. Not all black folks gonna know how to play dominoes. Not all black folks gonna know how to play cards, or not all black folks. Which you should kill yourself. Not all black folks should gonna see Scarface. So I get it, but
there are some monolithic things among.
And
here's why I say that, because there are some things that, according to black people, if you don't do, haven't done, you know what I'm saying, then you're not considered black enough.
No, it's not that serious. I mess with you. Like I said, I clown you about it, but no, not all black folks know how to do certain things like that.
Yeah, like stuff like this. Like when you get told, you know how many times I've gotten told I sound like a white person? Well, I mean, because I worked in customer service, so I know how to code switch fairly well. You know, I have my Inglewood voice, and then I have my customer service.
You know how to announce your words correctly. They ain't talking like no white person, man.
Yeah, that
but we done brainwashed ourselves to say that about each other. If you know, like my wife, she know how to talk real good.
Oh yeah, Jackie.
She talks like a white woman. No, man, just no. You can't get mad at nobody because they took time out to learn how to talk proper and good.
How dare you learn how to use the English language?
Man. Like I said, I clown brother all day long about paid in full, all this stuff. But in the end, man, you can't get your black card provoked.
I swear to God, as a black person, I'm afraid to admit that I am nervous about the women my sons will bring home, because the cultures. Oh
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
This needs to be.
This young coach is like them all.
No, it ain't even that, man. But that needs to be a show. Let me tell you something. And Eric, I don't want you to take offense because I want you to hear me out completely. When I was, before my son was born, I was afraid. I wouldn't say, but I was nervous. And one of the things that I prayed that I was like, Lord, don't let my son be gay. I prayed that. And I'm admitting that. And it's because at the time, which I was 23 at the time, 23, 24 at the time, I did not know how I would be able to handle that. You know what I mean? And that was a fear of mine. But as I grew and I started to understand things, that became less of a concern of mine. It's like, you know what? It is what it is. And if that happens, I have to learn to accept it. And it doesn't change who they are as a person.
You still got to love them.
You still have to love them.
Exactly.
My fear right now are these women. It's the women. And ladies, if y'all go back and watch this, please understand this is no indictment against you, but these females nowadays, I'm terrified for them.
I envy you, young men. Y'all ain't gotta do no work.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I'm just messing with you.
What?
That went over your head, but I'll tell you about it later.
No, I know what you mean. I'm trying to figure out how that fits into the conversation.
That's how I envy you, young man. Nigga, we had to buy roses and buy that ugly cookie from Evergreen Plaza.
Oh my
and
God,
all that
we have to do all that. What if they bring home men? But and that's the thing.
Can't do nothing but love them, Eric. Can't do nothing but love them in the end.
This is what I'm saying. So it's like, but I'm just afraid for this generation, period, because they don't date with a purpose. They just don't. It's like, and it's like the way society is now. These devices have been planted to pit the man against the woman, especially, it seems, in the Black community. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a lot of white podcasts where you got men talking about what do you bring to the table? What you bring to the table? I bring this to the. I bring. Don't tell me because I ain't in white circles. Don't you tell me it's because I don't watch white podcasts.
Relax, Mike.
Don't tell me, because you have a bad tendency of saying, "Well, Mike, that's because you're not in white circles. You know that you're not in that."
Mike, I don't talk like that, bro. Don't do that.
No, it's because you're not in those circles.
Mike, I don't sound like that, Mike. I was telling you to relax.
You're not in those circles, but I'm just saying that what you bring to the table. I don't bring. That's what you see on all of these podcasts. And it's like it is a war going on between Black men and Black women. And I don't even think a lot of folks even realize it. You got women growing up telling their daughters that they don't need a man. You got a lot of men growing up telling their sons that they don't need women.
Don't trust no woman.
And don't trust a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you got two, and now you have two, you got two genders. Actually, now I don't even know how many genders it is, because when you turn around, they always adding a new one.
I don't worry about that, man.
It's just like
it's man, woman, and gay people. That's how I look at it. I'm not. I respect everybody.
What?
I ain't got time to go with no letters, no hymns and theys and those. I'm not doing all that mess, bro. It's male, female, and gay. That's all I'm looking at.
You know what's funny though, and this is totally off subject. When you look at LBGT, right? Like L, what does the L stand for?
I think lesbian, right?
Right. And lesbian is basically gay.
Mm-hmm.
A woman. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then LB, B is what? Bi?
Bisexual, yeah.
Okay. So if you're bisexual, you like both sexes, which, if you're a man, you like man, you're gay. Woman, you like woman, gay, right? Then you look at G, which stands for gay.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at trans, it's basically gay. Yeah. So like the whole first, and then queer, and then queer actually stands for gay.
That's why I said.
So it's like
you either straight or you gay. Simple. That's with me. I'm not taking time out to say no.
Why do we need all these letters?
It's just all means gay. It's too much. You ain't got to tell me all that to tell me you gay. Just say you gay. I know it's too much.
He said y'all need some cover before you go to LGBTQ. Facebook will take you down. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, why you need all them letters? It all just means gay.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't pay attention to all that mess. I don't.
It's not mess. Facebook. We don't mean that. We respect.
I respect everyone's lifestyle. Hey. You love who you love, but I'm just saying I'm not gonna go and be doing all the different labels and all that. No, I'm not doing that.
But why is it though, as Black people, we tend to have this point of view that, you know, we say we're not monolithic, we don't all think alike, but yet and still we do very much think alike, and we get upset when people like us don't think like we think they should.
We live in a sheep society. Majority wins.
That's dangerous, man.
And if you choose to have a different opinion on things, you're the problem.
You know what? There's a guy who admitted that he didn't go to a HBCU because he didn't feel that he would be he didn't feel that he would be accepted, because he was kind of like, you know, the nerd type, and he was like, and he didn't feel that they would really understand him there, because black people don't like nerds. They don't think nerd, you know, it's just like, no. And he was like, I didn't go to an HBCU because I was afraid that I would not, you know, I just wouldn't be comfortable there.
Wow.
And I was like, that's, you know, so there's a girl who also said, you know what? She was afraid to admit that she said that she was afraid to admit that she agreed with 90% of the stuff that Candace Owens said as a black woman. And I was like, wow, I don't know about that one, because Candace Owens said some pretty, you know,
yeah, she's wild sometimes, but I said, sometimes, Mike, you have to really listen to people to understand. Like I said, even with Kanye with his rants, there's some truth in his rants, but the problem in what he's saying, but the problem is you have to listen to all the rant to catch the truth in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like with her, you know, it's some things that she say that you probably would agree with.
Yeah, I'm with Eric on all
this others. Yeah, I would say about 10%. Yeah, but it's the rest of the stuff you have to listen to what she's saying to catch what you agree with. Just like with Kanye, you got to listen to the rant to catch what you agree with.
This is an ultimate truth, because I don't know what it is about us when other black folks present us with information to try to help us be better.
Oh, you're a Mr. Know-it-all.
You're a know-it-all. Did nobody ask you all that?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Why are you volunteering all this information? That's crazy.
And the sad part about it is Brother Eddie is giving information that
free
black folks should know.
Not only should know, need to know.
I'm talking about the information he give you is information about self, about you, about where you come from. But like I said, once again, we don't care, Mike.
We don't
care.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm Gucci.
Man, I'm Gucci.
Yeah, I'm Gucci.
But dude, this right here though, man, you know what I'm afraid to admit as a black person, that I'm afraid to admit that I believe that we'll never learn how to support each other.
I've been saying that. You got mad at me one time before.
No, it was that was probably something else, because you probably misunderstood what I was saying.
No, I didn't.
Because we have this, and I know a lot of this stems from just our history and a lot of the stuff that we go through. But as black people, I never understood why it was so hard for us to see somebody else be. You ain't even got to be successful. You can look like you're doing something and people won't rock with you.
No.
Or they will look at you and want you to fail. They won't support you. They won't get behind you. And then we'll turn around and try to do the exact thing that you're doing.
Or you get caught into that, it's all about who we like. And you're not and you're not that person they like. You could say something, Mike, right now, and folks would think that you said the worst, but let somebody that they like say I'm talking about verbatim, the exact thing that you just said. and they spoke the gospel.
I have witnessed it.
I'm just being real with you, man.
I've witnessed it firsthand where I've said something and somebody echoed the exact and
always happened to me.
And somebody echoed the exact same thing. And
yes,
the
sir.
way it was received from the other person was just like but because I said it, I was the worst person in the world.
Because you're not the one they like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's something that I'm not only afraid to admit, but I hate the fact that I even admit it. That I just feel that that's something that we'll just never get.
No, there's no such. This is what you got mad at me about. This is a year. I'm talking about stuff from years ago because we didn't talk about these type of things on this pod before.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as black unity, Mike. And the sooner that we realize that, we'll be better off, man. Come on, man. You got folks out there that they didn't took protesting for certain things. They took that as a reason to go steal.
And then they justify it. And I don't like that either because we try.
These are things that a lot of us don't want to talk about.
I got people hovering around my door.
What's that, nephew? What's going on, nephews?
What you say? Where you going?
He said we're gonna go out to eat with some of his friends.
Oh, all right.
Nephew voice deep as hell.
Bring me some back. All right.
I'm about to leave out in a minute.
He said,
yeah, man. I'm like, Jesus.
When you smoke, that's what happens.
But Mike, don't do that. Don't do that, Mike. Don't put my nephew business out in these streets, man. But Mike,
it's legal.
Honestly, let's be real, Mike. I'll be honest with you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that need to be talked about. That's why nothing will never change because we are so afraid to talk about the sensitive issues, man.
Look,
he did, Tony. He did.
Lou Rawls. He can't. You'll never find.
Yeah, like, man, is that nephew? But these are issues that we refuse to talk about because they're sensitive, and no one wants to talk about them.
It's nobody wants to talk about it, man. And I don't know. It's one of the things about us that I hate to admit, and that I don't admit it often because people will be like, "No, that's not true. We work together." No,
they tell you that you complaining.
Yeah,
you're whining.
Quit
whining about it, Mike. Quit. You always complain about something. No, I'm talking about something that's bothering me. And if I'm continuing steady talking about it, it's bothering me where I can't keep it in no more. We have made it where now you can't even express how you feel about something because people are making it as if you're complaining about something. That's the honesty is gone, brother-in-law. The honesty of trying to be yourself. Now you really have to put this mask on just to cope with every day in today's society because that's what society is. It's about being fake and phony, putting that fake smile on and telling folks beautiful lies.
You know what else I don't like to admit about us? We don't reciprocate well. We don't. It's like once people do. I sometimes feel like once somebody does something, like if you do something for somebody, they oftentimes don't pay that back. And I know we don't do things to for the reason for other people to do stuff for us, but
gratitude still can go a long way. Gratitude still can go a long way.
Every now and again, a little gratitude, a little, hey man, I appreciate you. Oh, hey, you did this. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that well.
Society is different now, Mike. It's just things have changed, and if you're not willing to adapt in today's society, it's gonna be a lot of things that bother you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. This has not been a very uplifting show.
No, it really wasn't.
But it was just some stuff that it came across my desk, and
y'all know how we
man, okay. So, yeah. We're in negotiations right now. Because because she was like, listen,
we're gonna get her back, Eric. I want her back. That's why I got this background.
She said that she was like, Mike, she said, man, debating, she said, that's just, that's not my thing. I said, I know. And she was like, that's your space. And she said, I don't want to get in the way of that. And and I understand, but like I told her, she adds. I always felt that she added to the show.
Yeah.
Not just because she's my sister, but because she has a point of view that I don't have. She has a point of view that Phil doesn't have. She sees things from a woman's perspective, number one.
She fits.
And she sees things from the filter that life has afforded her. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, well, I get it. I said, I hope you will reconsider. And she was like, I don't know. That's why I haven't taken her out of the video yet.
Come back, Phyllis. If you watch it right now, Phyllis, I miss you. Come back. Bump Mike.
Yeah. I haven't taken her out of the video yet because we're still going to be in we're going to be in negotiations, and I'm
come on back, sis.
Even if she don't come back permanently, she do some guest appearances from here and there because I've always appreciated her opinion. That's why I wanted her on the show. And and if she chooses not to come back, I get it, because sometimes every space with your siblings or your family doesn't have to be a shared space. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, it just happens. And if I have to find another female to come on the show, I'll see if I can find another woman to come on the show. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, totally. She was intimidated by but we'll see, man. Oh, and listen. No, Tony said that that Phyllis was intimidated by him. Hey, y'all, man, I'm gonna tell you, Tone, I wanted to come on, man, because I was like, man, I want to come on there, but I was like, I couldn't at the time. That's why I was really typing, man, because that's a topic. That Ty Tribbett topic was one, and that's something that it got so many layers to it, man. That is crazy. Stop it, Eric. Stop it.
It's all.
It's such a troll.
It's a Shaka Khan song.
I know. That's why I was like, stop it.
I'm just saying, hey, listen, I just heard the lyrics.
Here's the crazy part. The instant I read it, it was in my head like, I'm like, oh. You knew I read it in the tone of the song. That's the crazy part.
I appreciate your comments, Eric. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You keep our chat kind of live, man. Keep it coming.
Man. Hey, y'all see my money on the wall? Where is it at? You see that? You probably can't see it because of the
I see that big old, is that a Benjamin? That big old $100 bill.
Yeah, I got a couple more to put up there because when I wake up, all I want to see is money. I'm gonna get me a car. I'm gonna get me a rug to put in front of this area. So when every Friday, all I see is money. I'm gonna be like Brian Carn. Money coming to me now.
Mike, you gotta relax, man.
I'm speaking of this to existence. Money coming to me.
Mike, chill, man.
Yeah.
Chill, man.
Oh, man.
Got me a check. I got a check.
That's good stuff. So listen, man, we're about to get on up out of here. It's about
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Man,
Man, it's like 8:44, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah. We've been yapping for a long time.
We be wilding on these Fridays.
Yep. Hey, you remember that? I'm telling you, had everybody paying all that money coming and only listen. That dude, boy, Brian Karn is somebody special. I ain't finna talk about him because that's a whole nother conversation. But listen, fellas and future and ladies and whoever else is watching, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
And I thank you all for tuning in. And I thank you all for all the kind words. Eddie was talking about how he watched the show and how we inspire him to do new shows and topics and everything. I appreciate that, because you hope that conversation is going forth and somebody gets something from it. And if one person gets something from what we're talking about, then we're doing our job.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate the company, the network that we have of individuals. I appreciate all of our viewers, whether they view live or come back and watch it. Our videos have been doing really well recently, and our podcast page, our Facebook page has been getting a lot of visits recently. There's been an uptick in visits, and people don't interact, they don't like, and they don't comment, but there's been a lot of people that's been checking us out. And one thing I've always told Phil, I said, I don't know when and I don't know where. I said, because when I look at stuff, man, I get a little disheartened because I see these shows and I see the stuff that they talking about and I see how popular they are. And it's just like, I just don't want to go that route.
And we're not go that route. We know we want to get to, and we know how we want to do it. I don't care what they're doing. They can get all the views they want. As long as we stay true to what we doing and consistent, we're gonna get to where we gotta go.
Yeah, I just don't want to go that route, man. And I believe in what we're doing. And
I'm about to be a contradiction right now, Mike.
You're about to be a contradiction. Oh, hey, real quick.
I don't want to have a ghetto podcast.
What, you thumbing your nose at the ghetto people now, Phil?
I told you I was about to be a contradiction.
Listen, real quick. If you guys haven't already got it,
I gotta get this book too.
Eddie Phillips has a ebook, and really, to call it an ebook is an understatement. I mean, he has a Black History resource called 101 Black History. I believe it's called the 101. Black History Question Challenge, and it's in an ebook form. And this book, for the cost of $18, it is, when I say it's a resource, it is a resource of information. It's not just a little, what's the L and Martin Luther and MLK stand for.
No, Eddie don't do that type of stuff. No, he go deep.
This guy he's used over 400 sources for the information that's in this book. And it is one of those things that when you get it, you're like, man, I didn't know, I didn't realize. Before you go and buy those 2 coffees from Starbucks, before you go to Five Guys and get that cheeseburger meal for $25,
man, listen,
I would encourage you to use that $18 and download this book, because I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Listen, you don't even have to have it on your phone. It can be a family experience. You can stream it to your television.
It goes straight to the TV.
You can put it, if you got Chromecast, or if you have a smart TV, stream it to your TV. Put it on the big screen. Listen, this it's check the link, check it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's good stuff. I don't know what happened to Phil, but I'm sure he'll be back if he can. There he is.
I'm here.
Okay. Something happened. He's over there messing with Pornhub again. But yeah,
Mike,
it's a great book.
That, Mike.
It's a great book. So if you go, definitely check that link out and go check it out. I need you all to go and check out my man Tony Briscoe. He has a wonderful show that he does every Monday at 7:00. Tone, if you still here, please put the link to your show. Make sure you put that in the chat so that people can check it out. Go follow these brothers. Go follow Eddie Phillips in the Erudition Network.
Mm-hmm.
Go follow his wife. She has a show that comes on Monday called Drop Living. Go follow his sons. Listen, I was a guest on his son's show. Had a great time on there. And I've been invited back. And I'm going back as soon as I get a chance. We talked about anime and trolls and everything else and had a good time. I felt young again on that show. It's like I was talking with my friends, but I had a good time and I love his show. Son, they had an excellent show this past. Listen, they had a great show this past weekend, and I was engaged when I was able to catch the last of it. Man, I really enjoyed them. Young guys doing something positive, having positive conversation. We need to support these young brothers. Please follow them and support them. And there's a lot of other people that's on here and that have great things that they're doing. But please check these brothers out. They do great work. And I'm not just saying that because they're in the chat. I'm saying it because it's true. Definitely go and check them out.
They really do good. They really do great work.
Really do great work. Me and Tina will be speaking on Good Friday for Greater Works Ministry Church, Elder Stephen Gibson. We're two of the featured speakers for that Good Friday.
Oh, Sister Tina's speaking too. Eddie's speaking too.
Yes, Tina's speaking too. So listen, this is gonna be good. So we're not going to be streaming that Friday.
No.
We're going to be it's a virtual service, so I'm going to be on there. And I have thou shalt be with me in paradise. That's my saying. So I don't know how the Lord is gonna lead me, but we're gonna have a good time. So I'm excited about that. And that's pretty much it for us, man. We try to stay encouraged. I know times seem crazy and things seem like they out of whack. And they always say it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But
trust God. That's all you need to do. Trust God.
I was just about to say, and Philip took the words right out of my mouth. If you don't do nothing else, just trust God.
That's right.
Understand that life has an ebb and flow. It has highs and lows. It has good and bad. But if you trust in the Lord, I promise you that things will always work out for the best.
Yes, sir.
They will always work out for the best. So you guys be safe. Have a great weekend. If you ain't got nothing planned, man, listen, just hang out with your family and love on them. I'm sure they'll appreciate hanging out with you. And that's going to be it for us. Anything before we go, Brother Philip?
Y'all enjoy your weekend.
All right, listen, that's it for us, man. And we'll be back here next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. And until we talk again, my friends, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys because we out.
Peace.